So how does AutoScalr work with an AutoScaled EC2 cluster? So let's say you have some sort of app running on EC2s with an auto-scaling group to scale in and out based upon CPU utilization. As load increases, it will scale out, adding EC2s to handle the load. So all you have to do to start leveraging AutoScalr's automated cost management is to point the AutoScalr cost optimizer at this auto-scaling group and provide a set of rules that it needs to follow. These rules are things like keep the CPU within this band and use any combination of these 3 or 4 instance types that we've tested the app on, and use spot instances to reduce costs, but only up to 70% of the cluster. And things like never allow more than 10% of capacity to be in any single spot market at one point in time. This last one is a very key capability of AutoScalr because it allows you to bound the maximum amount of capacity that is at risk of being lost at the same time from spot market fluctuations. This allows you to protect against this uncommon occurrence by simply over-provisioning by that same amount. And since the instances are so much cheaper, you still save considerable amount of money without taking significant risk. And for the normal 99% of the time, you get the bonus of having your application actually perform better with that extra spare capacity. Faster performance at a lower price point. If you are not familiar with spot instances and spot markets, check out our blog post on the topic that explains them in detail. So once you have your rules defined, the AutoScalr cost optimizer then analyzes the cluster and scans the current price of the available spot markets to determine the most cost-effective cluster that meets the specified rule set, then automatically drives the cluster to that state. No reviewing reports or human intervention required. This is also not just a one-time thing. The optimizer will continuously watch both the aggregate CPU load of the cluster and the state of the available spot markets, including risk levels of potentially losing existing spot instances, and make ongoing tuning changes as conditions change on either side. If a spot instance, or even an entire spot market is lost, the bounded capacity loss is automatically absorbed, and then AutoScalr immediately begins to replace the lost capacity to return to a balanced, resilient cluster within minutes. The end result is considerably less operational costs without requiring repetitive human intervention.